Gorilla's back. And today I wanted to address, it was a video I put out with Hamza on his channel a while back where we had a chat, we sat down and discussed Western women and our opinions and our views on them. And the video is quite long, it ran for about an hour, but there's about a 7-minute clip that I wanted to address and show to you boys. So I'm going to roll that for you now. And then at the end, there were some things in this clip that we didn't end up going into, some talks about performance anxiety, not being able to get it up for a girl, even when you want to, when she's hot and she's in your room. And it was something that me and Hamza have both had experience with, and I didn't address it in the video. So at the end of this video, I'm going to go into it and just delve into maybe a couple of solutions that are not Viagra, not the drugs that people recommend you take, because often that performance anxiety is such a mental thing, but it's something that you can get over very, very easily if you know the way. So enjoy the clip, boys. Stay tuned for the after bit. I'm going to run into it in a bit more detail, but I'll roll it now. Get into it.
Was shit tested you more, women in UK or women in Thailand?
I didn't really know the concept of a shit test or what any of this meant. I was like completely blind to it all in the UK, and I think looking back on it now, some of the relationships I had in the UK, especially with long-term girlfriends, could have been way, way better and a lot more fun had I been the man I needed to be. Now I'm being more the man I need to be, and I've learnt about these things, and I'm living out pretty much my dream life, and I'm aligned with my purpose. My relationships are far better, and I've realised pretty much everyone will shit test you.
Yeah.
Every woman, no matter how sweet, and it's a good thing. You shouldn't run away from it. But before I did, before you hear so many guys complain, oh, my girlfriend or wife, she's always nagging me and shit. It's like, it's your life, buddy. I really don't think you should ever complain in that situation. It's like you either break up with her or you figure it out. Like, don't complain about it, her being nagging all the time and not liking her. Like, there's plenty of other options. And for me, like, you'd be more inclined to just, I'd be more inclined to just moan about it. But now I would never moan about any of the girls I see. Pick up with, for my experience with the English women I've seen in Thailand. Pick up with an English woman through the evening. There's not that same, with the few women that I've been with that are English, for this example, where there's not been that same sexual chemistry. Very, very attractive women, but always keeping you on the edge of, are you good enough or not? Not giving you any sort of security or comfort in whether or not she really likes you. And that's kind of tough for me, to get in the mood sexually. Like, it's not turning me on when a girl's keeping me on that edge, that nervous edge. She's kind of going over to her friends, talking for a bit, ignoring you for a bit, coming back, shaking her ass on you for a bit, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe she likes me or whatever. And then she's fucking going somewhere else and come back and all the shit. And then at the end of the night, she like grabs your hand, she's like, yeah, come on, let's go. And you get in the car and she's a little cold still, and you're like, fuck, mate, it's the right thing to do. Like, she's come with me, I don't fucking know. And you get in the bedroom.
Even then there's resistance.
Get in the bedroom, even not resistance, but like just a lack of warming up, like a lack of getting me like, for me, like getting me in the game. Like making me feel good about myself so that I can perform. Like, I'll literally have with the time I'm thinking of personally, it's like finally got in the door, there's been really no foreplay or flirtiness or kindness or whatever or compliments, and then she's just like, all right, get it out, come on. And I'm like, what the fuck? I need a little bit more than this. I'll give you the comparison to a Thai woman. Thai woman, you make eyes with them in the club, they look at you deep into your soul, they smile at you, and you can tell like she wants to be with you tonight straight away. She comes over, she asks you questions, she'll touch your arm, she'll then like start to hold your hand or something, and you'll walk around together, maybe go to a quiet spot for a bit. Sorry bro. Yeah, you'll go to like a quiet spot together, talk for a bit, play some pool. You'll flirt for a while, and there'll be that touch. She'll give you that touch barrier. She'll just show you with her eyes and the way she speaks to you that she likes you. May that be for one night or more than that, it doesn't really matter in my opinion. Like, we're not talking about working girls or prostitutes here, we're talking about genuine girls that just the way they react with you when you meet for one night, they're not gaining anything out of it apart from going home with you. And I just find that myself to be so relaxed, so comfortable, genuinely happy. I think the best thing that a woman can do for a man is make him feel like he has increased status. And Thai women do that very well, because they will stick by you. They look amazing, they'll dance on you, they'll make you feel like the man in the club, and then by the time you get them home, after the flirting, the foreplay with these women, you're ready to go. And you have like primal, animalistic intercourse. I find like it's fantastic. And the reason why is because it's been set up properly, and there's that understanding of each other. and that actual raw attraction that isn't hidden. They're not afraid to tell you that they like you straight away.
It's a sexual polarity.
It's something.
I really,
it's something
really
fucking
noticed
crazy.
that. The Way of the Superior Man book really talks about the importance of sexual polarity, which literally just means the man should be more masculine, the woman should be more feminine. And there's a couple of nights that really come to mind, a couple of like women and times that I've had with them, that there's certain women, and you spoke to me about this as well. So it's a sensitive thing, and a lot of guys won't talk about this, but I respect like how much of our confidence and sort of openness there is to this, where we've both had pretty significant periods of like our dicks not getting hard with women.
Yeah.
And we always wondered why, and was it physical? And you went down more of like the Viagra route and everything, and I was like fully thinking mental problems and everything, like researching like performance anxiety, why is my dick not getting hard? You can have a full-on soft dick with a girl who's literally trying to make you hard, and it's just not really working. Whereas there's also times where I've had experiences with girls where literally just talking with them and eye contact gets me rock hard.
It's crazy.
I've noticed now, like I'm putting the dots together, the time when I'm like so turned on that literally just eye contact with a girl makes me hard, or like just a simple conversation, not even that much of a sexual conversation, is the time when like she's a very feminine girl, she's got so much feminine energy, I'm really in my masculine, and there's that polarity between us. It's like that unshakable, raw, primal attraction.
I hope you enjoyed that clip, boys. The thing I wanted to run into was performance anxiety, and I know we mentioned it in there, and Hamza mentions that I'd used Viagra before, and I just want to run you guys through my story and how I ended up going down a pretty deep, dark hole with the Viagra, and why I really wouldn't recommend it to anyone. And first things first, what's performance anxiety? So for anyone that doesn't know, performance anxiety is when you're so nervous and anxious about being with a girl and performing well, pleasing her in bed sexually, that you struggle to get an erection or get hard. And it's a pretty common problem, because I find, as we addressed in that video, Western women, for one reason or another, a few of them, and the ones, certainly some that I've had experience with, are not very good at making a guy comfortable. Now, the problem with Viagra is, I thought that when you had performance anxiety, when you were nervous and you couldn't get it up, it was because you had a problem with you. And so the first time this happened to me was after I'd been with my long-term girlfriend, and it was the first time I then had sex after with a new girl. And obviously I was quite nervous. I've been out of the game for 2.5 years, so when it came to going to bed, I was very nervous with this girl, and I couldn't get it up. And it was a really embarrassing situation, because the girl started to think that it was a problem with her. I didn't know why this was happening to me. You feel ashamed, and you feel pretty upset, and you're like, God damn it, I wasn't the man, and she just feels disappointed as well. And it's a really nasty, quite confidence destroying feeling. So that happened to me, and I was like, this is so bad, I never want that to happen again. And I started looking up what to do if you can't get erection. Obviously, first thing that comes up is Viagra. And so I thought, yeah, you know what, I'll go down the pharmacy, I'll get a prescription for Viagra, I'll take that, problem solved, and it will never be a problem again. Now, the problem with Viagra is, it doesn't solve the problem. You see, if you're a healthy young man, just like me, and you can't get it up with a girl, but you can get hard for porn, or you can get hard to wank, then you don't have an issue that Viagra can solve. That's just a blood flow issue that you're solving with Viagra. So it's for people with a medical problem. You don't have a medical problem because you can get hard at other times. That's how you tell, but I didn't know this. I thought that Viagra was just a solution, but Viagra is actually not very good for you. It's not very good for you at all. You really shouldn't take it. Once you start taking it, for me at the start, it did solve the problem. I was getting hard again. But the problem with Viagra is, for me, I wasn't turned on that much, because I wasn't solving the performance anxiety. I was just getting hard. So the sex wasn't actually very good anyway, to start with. I was doing damage to myself and my body by taking the Viagra. And after a while, the Viagra stopped working. So I got to a point where I took too much, way too much Viagra, between 200 and 300 milligrams. I'm not sure exactly how much. It was in Thailand, and it was in a nerve-wracking situation with a super hot girl, and I was still in this headspace of like, do I have an issue or not? And I took it, and I was red in the face, eyes popping out of my head, heart beating like absolutely crazy, and I still couldn't get hard because the Viagra had stopped working for me, because the performance anxiety had gotten that bad. It was like, there started being a voice in my head that was like, what if you can't get hard even with the Viagra? Then that'll really be embarrassing. And you get a few of them in a row. And I had an experience at uni where I was too drunk. So a few experiences at uni where I was too drunk and I couldn't get out. And one of those experiences, the girl went into a flatmate's bedroom. She couldn't sleep with me, obviously, because I was too drunk and I couldn't get out. And she went and fucked her flatmate, and I heard him, and I left the house. I got really angry, and that kind of scarred me and made me pretty embarrassed about not being able to get it up. And it was only through being here, becoming comfortable with girls, and finally saying to myself after that experience with the 300 milligrams of Viagra and feeling like shit, I was like, this is unacceptable, mate. Just don't get it up. If you can't get it up, just leave it. It was like, it wasn't worth it anymore. I'd had as much as embarrassment as I could face, and I really didn't care anymore. I was like, I just don't want to harm my health. So I just started being like, if you come around with a girl and you can't get up, you can't get up. Just say, sorry, it's just not working tonight. And I fixed the problem. I'm absolutely off Viagra, off any stimulants like that now, and do not need them at all. Absolutely fine. And the way that I did it is I figured out that connection, that if I can get hard by myself, then there's no need for the Viagra. I don't need it. The only problem is with my mind and not being comfortable. So rather than take Viagra and bang girls I couldn't get hard for because I was so nervous, now I only go home with girls that I feel comfortable with. And if I'm not comfortable with them, I don't go home with them. I don't try and force myself to do anything I don't want to do. So don't feel uncomfortable and don't feel in the wrong if you can't get it up, boys, because it's just a nerves thing, and you can get over it. You can tell the girl directly, I'm a little bit nervous. And another thing is, don't drink too much, because that will stop you. So you want to have about 2-3 drinks max, and then you'll find it a lot easier, especially if you're doing no FAP, you're doing semen retention, you're not drinking alcohol. When you see a hot girl, you should be absolutely fine. It's not going to be an issue. If the performance anxiety starts to get you because she's really, really hot, take some deep breaths and just be honest with her. If she can't accept it and help to make you feel comfortable, it's not a girl that you should be sleeping with, boys. There's plenty of others out there that you will have a great, amazing time with, that you don't need to compromise your health or be someone that you're not for. So I just thought that was an important issue, and I wanted to clarify that from the clip you saw, because it was a really a worry for me for a while, and something that was bad for my health, and a habit that didn't fit with my general lifestyle and who I am as a person. So if any of you boys are out there struggling with that, now you know that it's all right, and that if you can get hard in other situations, you don't need Viagra. I really urge you guys to stay away from it. Do not take it. It's pretty bad for you, and afterwards it's a lot harder to get hard without it. You have to relearn that. So it was a bit of a journey for me. Lasted about a year. There was a lot of anxiety around it, but we're through it now and to greener pastures, and life is good. If you need help boosting your testosterone, if you find you're not getting horny, for example, check out the course below. You boys can check that out. Boost your testosterone, get in good shape. You'll have no problem with the ladies. But it's been a pleasure, boys. As always, see you on the other side.